Hello friends, welcome to today's class. This is RME, Religious and Moral Education, and this is WAS as usual. Last week we discussed the Akan puberty rite, that is Brago. We looked at the very important details of every ritual that is performed. This week we are going to discuss the Krobo puberty rite, that's Dipo. So this is part 5 of the Rites of Passage series. I hope you pay attention to every detail. Okay, so let's continue. Now you all know what Dipo is. Dipo is a puberty rite performed by the Krobo people of Manya, Krobo, Yido Krobo, Sumenya, and its environs in the eastern region of Ghana. The ceremony is performed every year for girls in the month of February. The initiates are called Dipoyo. So I believe the yo means one, so the Ghana please forgive me, but as we continue to discuss, you see Dipoye instead of Dipoyo. Well, let's continue. Now, in the past, girls who became pregnant before their initiation were banished, were excommunicated from their communities. Before a traditional Krobo man marries a Krobo woman, the marks of her initiation must be visible. As we discuss, you see, or you get to know where the marks are made. Now, before the depot commences, there is announcement in the name of Nenene Koloweki, calling all parents to bring their daughters to be initiated. Now note that the Nenene is the earth goddess of the Krobos. So a priestess will make the announcement in the name of the Nenene telling parents that it is time for their daughters to be initiated into, that is, adulthood. The initiates are then presented to the priestess of the shrine by their clan heads, and the rituals and everything, including the confinement, will last for 2 weeks, beginning on a Thursday and ending on a Sunday. Okay, now after the girls are assembled in the shrine of the Nenekulowiki, the first ritual that is performed is the Kpawomi. Now the Kpawomi is simply tying a string of beads around the waist of the initiate, and a red loin cloth is affixed to it, touching the ground in front and at the back. After this, the lower hairs of the initiates are shaved and blackened with charcoal. This shaving and blackening of the lower head is known as the Yisipomi. After the shaving, a raffia fiber is tied around the neck of each initiate. This is called Suni. That's the tying of the raffia fiber is called Suni. Now the essence of this is to show that the girls are ready for their initiation. The principal ceremony begins on Saturday. On this Saturday, the initiates are led to a stream or a river for ritual cleansing called Ayapa. After the cleansing, the initiates are sent to the shrine for the continuation of the rituals. Now, note that on their way to the shrine, they are forbidden to speak to anyone they meet. Because it is a taboo to actually communicate with those they see. That is why normally they put something like a leaf in their mouth to prevent them from talking to anyone. Now, the girls are then fed with non-Krobo food such as sugarcane and granuts in the shrine. They are also fed with special ritual meal called the hofufui, that is Saturday fufu. So these are some of the foods that they take as they leave the riverside for the shrine. Libation is then offered with millet beer, palm wine, and schnapp. Now, this libation is called the triple libation because of the 3 different items or drinks which are used. Now, in the night of the same Saturday, the Togbemi ritual is performed. Each parent of the initiate present a castrated goat for this ritual. Now, when the goats are brought, each goat is slaughtered on the feet of the initiate. This is to cleanse them from any evil that may befall them as they journey into manhood. So, blood is supposed to cleanse them from every that is bad eye, every bad thought, as they are now initiated or they are being initiated into adulthood. Now, after the Saturday, now note that we are not going to discuss that is each day and what is done. We are just taking the salient points, those which are very important to our syllabus. And so you may not get to know what happens on maybe a Friday, what happens, it continues like that. I believe you understand. Now, let's go on. Now, after the Saturday, the climax of the depot rite is on Sunday. On this fateful Sunday, the initiates are dressed with white loin cloth. So the white loin cloth replaces the red loin cloth that they began with when they first entered the shrine. Now, each initiate is made to carry a pot of millet beer and a long walking stick as they are led into the shrine of the Nenekolowiki for the final ritual. Before each initiate enters the shrine, she must present a gift. She must present a gift to the priestess of the shrine. Now, as they enter the shrine, each is made to carry, that is, a pot of millet beer, which will be used for libation. Red marks are made on their body to show that they are ready for the final ritual. Now, it is not easy to reach this stage. Now, sometimes because of tiredness, some of them may even fall by the wayside. That is, they may not even they won't be able to complete the rituals. So, having gotten to this stage is a blessing. So, they make red marks, that is, of clay on their body to show that they are ready for the final ritual. Now, the final ritual is the climbing of the sacred stone. Each initiate is placed on the sacred stone 3 times the words, "I am making you a Krobo woman." If any of them is not chaste, by placing that person on the stone, it can cause that person's death. That is the death of the initiate, the depoyo. Yes. So before you are placed on the stone, you need to be questioned whether you have indeed tasted the forbidden fruit. If you lie, it means you are signing your own death warrant. Now, apart from causing the death of the initiate, it can also cause harm to the priestess who may be putting or placing the initiate on the sacred stone. Okay. Now, the placing of the initiates one by one on the sacred stone is what is called Tekori Tegbeteyami. I believe it is huge, but it is here Tekori Tegbeteyami. Okay. Then after that, after they've gone through, that is, this ritual, the remaining hair on their heads are shaved, and each of them is given a priest-like hat as they are led to the chief's palace. So initially, that red hat that they began the rituals with will be taken off, and they'll be given a white priest-like hat, just like the one worn by the priestess who is taking them through the initiation. And after that, they are dressed nicely and taken to the chief's palace for other rituals to be performed. The initiates, after this, the initiates are then confined to a house for a week. Now, during this period, they are taught the customs and traditions of their people as well as lessons on womanhood. Yes. Now, note that after the initiation, the girl is ready to marry. And so the girl needs to know more about their customs, their traditions, how to prepare their favorite food, things that they're supposed to do as a matured Krobo woman, and things that they are not supposed to do. How to even take care of their husbands, because obviously they will all get married one day, if not sooner. Okay, so the initiates are then confined to a house for a week, and during this period they are taught the customs and traditions of their people as well as lessons on womanhood. Then, during the confinement, 9 incisions or cuts are made on each initiate's hands between the wrist and the thumb. This is to show that they have successfully completed their initiation. Now, when we began, I told you that before a Krobo man marries a Krobo woman, the marks of her initiation must be visible. These are the marks. So if we take the right or the left hand of someone who had been initiated, you will see those 9 incisions. And it's normally seen between the wrist and the thumb. Okay. Then after this, elephant hair, that is Gani, is tied around the head of each initiate as a symbol of fertility. And when this passes, it means that the rest is merrymaking. So the initiates are happily dressed in their best traditional regalia, and they are paraded through the principal streets amidst singing and dancing. So here, the Kalama dance takes precedence in everything they do. Now, I believe that this is a very beautiful display of culture. And I wish that one day we all take a trip to that place and just look at the way these rituals are observed. But I believe that those Kobo people amongst you who have also gone through the initiation will share into details what you went through with your friends, because sharing is caring. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the depot rites. So we have discussed the very important rituals. There may be some add-ons, but this is quite simple for our syllabus. We don't need to go into details apart from this. Okay, now since this ends the discussions on puberty rites, it is prudent that we look at some of the significance of puberty rites. So I've listed about 8 of them over here. Let's try to go through them one after the other. So the first one, puberty rites enable boys and girls to be initiated into adulthood. So this is just a means by which boys and girls are seen as adults or are pushed into the adult class. Now 2, they serve as a means of upholding juvenile morality or promoting chastity in the traditional communities. Now they enable young people to learn the rich culture, traditions, and practices of their own people. Apart from that, the initiates also benefit from gifts presented to them by friends and relatives, which may serve as financial guarantee for them. Now we saw in the Bragro how gifts are thrown in the brass basin containing water. And this one too, as they are paraded through the principal street during the depot, people present them with gifts. Because we said that it is not easy for, that is, a girl to go through these rituals. The next point. Now, the rites bring respect and honor to the initiate, their family members, and the community as a whole. Yes. Because, juvenile delinquencies nowadays is rife. And so, if your child is able to wait patiently for your child to be initiated, it is a blessing not only to the child, but to the family members as well as the whole community. It brings joy to all of them. Now, religiously, the rites serve as a means of soliciting blessing from the gods and the ancestors for the initiate. So the various libations that are offered, the introduction of the initiate to the deities of the rivers through plunging them into the river, shows that the blessings of these deities are solicited for the initiate. Now they also help to preserve the rich culture of the various ethnic groups. So because we have a lot of puberty rites, as they go through this, as people are initiated into adulthood, it displays that is the rich culture of the various groups in Ghana. Now they enable young girls to get suitors or good marriages. Now we said that in the past, if a girl got pregnant before her initiation, she is sent away from the community. So when a girl is able to go through these, that is rituals, the girl is seen as chaste and of good morals. So the tendency of that girl getting good marriage is very high. So that is why we are saying that they also enable young girls to get suitors or good marriages. Then lastly, they help to promote tourism in the country as people come from far and near to witness the ceremonies. Now, if it is that is people coming from that is outside the country stands to gain in the foreign exchange that they bring. So apart from these significance, you can add other significance, but make sure that you have researched very well to see that those ones that you be adding are correct. So friends, this brings us to the end of puberty rites. Now the next lessons will still be on rites of passage, but here we'll be progressing to marriage. So have a blessed day, be safe, and observe all the protocols with respect to COVID-19. Thank you very much.